Following the name. Some names are not just names, they are doors, and once opened, there is no turning back. The name Michael stayed in Ethan's mind. It followed him through the streets, through his thoughts, through the silence at home. I couldn't stop thinking about my uncle. If he was the reason my father disappeared, then he was the closest thing I had to the truth. And I needed that truth. The next morning, I searched through old papers and boxes in the house. Receipts, photographs, anything that could tell me where Michael went. At the bottom of an old drawer, I found a torn piece of paper, a phone number, and a city name written beside it, Chicago. The past has a way of leaving trails. You just have to be willing to follow them. I didn't tell my mother what I was planning. I knew she would stop me. Instead, I packed a small bag and took the first bus out of Detroit. The road felt long and quiet. Too quiet. As the city disappeared behind me, I wondered how many lies I had lived with. How many truths had been hidden in the name of protection. I wondered if my father had watched me grow up from far away, and if he ever thought of coming home. Chicago was louder than Detroit. Faster. Colder in a different way. I stood on the sidewalk, holding the torn paper in my hand, unsure where to begin. Some journeys don't start with answers, they start with fear. I dialed the number. It rang once, twice, then someone answered. Hello? The voice was older, rougher, and familiar. My heart raced. Michael? I asked. Silence. Then the line went dead. I stood there, staring at my phone. He was real, he was alive, and he knew my name. The past does not like to be chased. When cornered, it fights back. The call ended, but the silence it left behind was louder than any words. I stood on the sidewalk in Chicago, my phone still in my hand. My heart was pounding. He had answered. That meant one thing. My uncle was not just a memory. I spent the night in a cheap motel near the bus station. Sleep came in pieces. Every sound made me alert. Every shadow felt like a warning. Morning came too fast. I walked through the city with the phone number in my pocket and fear in my chest. After asking around, following old records and names, I found an address linked to Michael, an apartment building on the south side. Some doors change your life forever. I stood outside the building for a long time, then I rang the bell. Footsteps came closer. The door opened slowly, and there he was. Michael Cole looked older than I remembered. His hair was gray, his face was tired, but his eyes were the same, cold, sharp. Ethan, he said quietly. He knew who I was. That scared me more than anything. I asked him about my father. At first he said nothing. Then he stepped aside and let me in. The apartment was dark and quiet, like a place built for hiding. Some people carry guilt in their silence. I didn't want things to end this way, he said finally, but they did. I asked him what he meant. He looked away. He's alive, Michael said, but he can never come back. Those words cut deep. My father was alive, but still out of reach. Where is he? I asked. Michael shook his head. You're not safe knowing that. Anger rose inside me. You already took everything from him, I said. You don't get to protect me now. Michael stood up slowly. You don't understand what you're walking into. Maybe I didn't, but I knew one thing. I wasn't turning back. What danger was my uncle afraid of? Who was still watching? Why was my father forced to stay hidden after all these years? And what would it cost me to find him? Meet me in the next part.